Welcome. Welcome to Touching the Edge. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Drake, and I'm so happy to be here today. I'm happy to be here because I am in contact with my own intent, and I want to suggest to you that the more that happens in the world, the more I lean into my intent. Remember, there's not a greater depth outside of you than there is inside of you. Just because people are committed to whatever their intent is, it doesn't mean that you can't have an equal balanced intent towards your own process that ends up grounding you and connecting you with that ambient field of positive indifference, an ambient yes for no matter what happens in life. Because when we have this kind of intent that I'm describing, we step into a relationship to hope. Now, I want to ask you about hope. I think hope is a very interesting thing. I want to ask you, what is hope? Is hope important to you? You know, in many meditation schools of thought, they tell you to give up hope. Because they say that by focusing in hope, you're not really in connection with the completeness of the moment. There's something that you feel like you're lacking that you're hoping for. But I'm asking you, what do you feel about this relationship to hope? I notice that in the groups that I work with, when I work with groups that don't seem to be really in contact with hope, when I work with, work communities or nonprofits, if they don't feel like they have hope, they tend to kind of cave in on themselves. Don't you find that's true? When a community doesn't have a sense of hope, they begin to become more depressed. And you see that in communities in the world too. When people don't feel a sense of hope, it becomes radiantly obvious. So to me, hope is important. But I want to encourage you to have an active sense of hope, not a hope that's sitting back wishing for something in the future, but a hope that's present to an experience right now. When you feel hope, you feel more confident, you feel more capable, you feel that you have more reserve, more resilience. So I'm asking you to connect with an active hope. A hope that recognizes that there are certain things that depress hope. For instance, being angry, being connected to being fearful. These things tend to make hope not so important. Recognize that hope is having a sense of yes. When you have an enthusiastic sense of yes, you're igniting hope. And I have another one of my great friends, and who's also a great teacher. She describes hope as what she calls observational hope. So when I combine the two, this active hope, which I want to suggest as a collaboration. Remember Dante's Inferno. I think the quote is, "All ye who enter here abandon hope." That's us abandoning hope. I'm suggesting never abandoning hope. Having hope being an ambient field that has a feeling that things are going to work out, and connecting that active hope that I'm describing with this observational hope, meaning you control your attention. Focus on that which gives you hope. So stimulate hope in your life and recognize that when you have hope, you're in contact with your intent. So let us know what you're describing and what you're feeling in your world today. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. Active hope, observational hope connects you to vision, connects you to a feeling that things are going to work out. Namaste, my friend. Thank you so much for your time. Let us know what you're hopeful for these days. How are you stimulating hope? Please be a part of the conversation. Let other people know about these circles. And let's change the world together, you and I. Have a great day. Bye-bye.